Welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I have 3 stories for episode 11 of r/IDontWorkHereLady. And the first story is, the idiot was going to get hurt. And then after that we have, lady tried to get me fired for not helping her at another store. And our last and final story is, well, I quit again, I guess. If you enjoy my videos, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, as it helps my videos out a lot. Now let's just jump right into it. The idiot was going to get hurt. Where I live, we have to drive our recyclables to a central place where there are multiple containers for each type of material. These containers are huge, having the length and width of full ocean-going shipping containers and about 7 feet tall. They have a single massive lid on top that is lifted partially open about a foot for people to insert things over the sides. Not everyone can reach that high, so there are small step stools available. The containers are all arranged in rows and clearly marked. There is another adjacent area where bottle and can deposits can be redeemed. The staff are usually over there working with people, but they're responsible for the entire facility. I arrived sometime mid-morning on a weekday because I'd taken the day off work and was just doing house chores. I had a crazy amount of cardboard after having decluttered the garage and thrown a lot of stuff out over the prior few weeks. So I'm parked next to a cardboard container and wordlessly pushing in my flattened cardboard. There are a few other pieces on the ground right near me that someone else left. I also put those in the container. I head back over to my vehicle to get another load. An irritated male voice catches my attention. Let him be known as Joe. Joe, you're putting it all in wrong. You're making a huge mess. You deaf? Don't they train anyone around here? Now I'm looking to see where their voice is coming from. I see him. He's a handyman type in his late 50s or early 60s, in need of a haircut, driving a beat up old pickup with all sorts of random stuff in its bed. Finally got your attention. You too afraid to get your hands dirty and do real work? What are you talking about? Look! He points around at various items on the ground. Look! He points to a piece of cardboard sticking out from a different container than the one I'm using. Why are you even talking to me about this? None of that is my job. I go back to what I was doing and ignore him. Joe mutters something I can't quite hear and shuffles away. A few minutes pass by and I'm done. I close the back of the vehicle and lo and behold, he's back with someone in tow. The other person is wearing a fluorescent safety shirt with the name of the facility printed on it. This employee, Keone, looks to be in his early 20s and has no idea what's going on. Joe, there he is. That's the guy that won't do his job. Keone, who? Him? Points at me questioningly. Wow, is everyone an idiot here? How hard is it to get you people to get off your fat butts and do some real work? He grabs cardboard from the ground and tries and fails to get it all the way into the container. Tries again and fails, and is now very physically agitated. I am not the skinnier guy I used to be, but I am not fat. Yet. Keone, however, is very heavy, but in a more dangerous local boy kind of way. He is also not reacting very well to the insults. Me. Hey, slow down. First of all, I don't work here. Joe. Yes, you do. You helped unload that car. He points at my car. Me. That's my car, you idiot. Keone, looking at Joe emotionlessly. Tell me again what you said. Me, also looking at Joe. Get in your truck now. Leave. Don't come back. You're about to get the crap kicked out of you. Joe seems to realize the truth of where this was going with this employee. He left, spinning his tires a bit on the gravel. Keone and I had a good laugh afterwards. Edit. Just want to add that I personally wasn't going to hurt Joe. My reaction was partially to prevent him from being hospitalized, but more to avert problems for Keone. He struck me as someone who was doing his best to be on the straight and narrow, but was seconds away from losing his job and getting an assault charge. Most of the guys working these jobs are paid very little and don't have many other job prospects. A lot of them are ex-cons, on probation or parole, and need to focus on better ways to handle situations like this. Keone may well have been none of these things, of course. It just looked like a worsening situation that needed an abrupt, non-violent end. Lady tried to get me fired for not helping her at another store. I work at an electronics store. In this store, we have a customer that up until this point had been a blast to help. I've been helping this lady multiple times and she has never given me any issues. One time, I was out shopping for groceries for a party and I was kinda busy. This is a big store that just happens to have an electronics department. The lady I've been helping multiple times was in the store shopping for electronics. When I walked by, she noticed me. She waved me over. She then asked me which of these phones she should get. As I said, I was kinda busy, so I kindly said, "I'm sorry ma'am, but I don't work here, but there's an employee over there and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to help you." She did not accept this answer. "I know where you work, and I know that you're good at all this electronic stuff, and it should not be a big hassle for you to help me." This kinda took me by surprise since this lady has always been nice to me. I told her, "I'm sorry ma'am, but I'm kinda in a hurry and I need to get going. Please ask the employee of this store for help or come in by my store tomorrow if you insist on me helping you." She then gave me a look that could kill me and I kindly walked away. The next day I come into work to the sight of this lady screaming at my manager. She demanded that he fire me because I was very rude to her and refused to help her. My manager called me over and asked me to explain what happened. I told my manager about the incident at the other store. The manager then looked at the lady and said, "I'm sorry ma'am, but my employee is not obligated to help you at other stores, or if he's off the clock. This employee has a good reputation in this store and he would never be rude to customers." The lady got red as a tomato and then angrily stormed out of the store. Both my manager and I thought that was it with her, but nope. A few hours later, she came back into the store with every single product I had sold her and she demanded a refund. She yelled at my manager, "I refuse to support a store with such a bad customer service." My manager then kindly tried to explain that a refund would not be possible since store policy clearly stated that all refunds may only happen within 30 days in an unopened state or if the product is faulty. But since most of our products are quite expensive, most of the faulty products get sent in for service and not refunded. The woman kept screaming at my manager and demanding a refund but without luck. After about 10 minutes of screaming, my manager called security to escort the lady out of the store. We all thought we were done with her, but again, nope. After a bit, she came back in with 2 police officers pretending she got assaulted by security. We kindly explained to the officers what had happened. The officers looked very annoyed at the lady and one of the officers looked at the lady and said, "Ma'am, you need to come with us." The officers escorted the lady out of the store and I haven't seen her since. Well, I quit again, I guess. I had left my part-time job at a department store with a red logo about 6 months earlier to accept full-time work at a red poloed grocery store. There was a new store manager that had just transferred in and he was about the worst customer service tyrant I ever met, so it was all very well timed. We didn't work together long enough to learn each other's names, but I'll never forget his catchphrase, "Give him the pickle," which was his way of saying, "The customer is always right," for some weird reason. Anyways, I needed a new pair of uniform pants and decided to go by and scope out some of the ladies' clearance on the way home from work. Not thinking the uniform would be an issue as the department store didn't use uniforms when I worked there. I began to start digging through the clearance racks, mostly undisturbed. I worked in men's originally, and it was a large store, so different departments didn't interact a lot, when a wild Karen appeared. Let's meet the cast. Karen, me, store manager. Karen, "Do you know where the formal dresses are?" "I think they're around the back of the store." "Can you see if you have this in the back, in a medium?" Holds up sweater on a hanger. No. Sorry, I don't work here. Someone can help you at the counter around the corner." "But you're in uniform." "I actually work at such and such grocery store. The people here wear red lanyards with the company name." "But you knew where the dresses are." Sorry, someone at the counter can help you. At this point, she throws the hanger sweater combo in my direction and actually stamps her foot like a toddler. I figure at this point it's not going to de-escalate and I should probably just lay low until this woman finds a real employee. So I wander away to housewares while Karen screams threats of, "You better hope I don't find a counter," and "I'll have your job." It's about 10 minutes later when Karen marches up with store manager in tow. I'm busy admiring the weird 3-in-1 breakfast maker they're selling. Now, it's important to mention at this point that sometime during the reign of store manager and my 6-month absence, a uniform change had been made. Floor staff still only wore lanyards, but any receiving stock associates wore red polos, so I kind of understand how this last part happened, but still. Karen points at me. "That's her. She was incredibly rude." Store manager looks me up and down. "I'm incredibly sorry, ma'am. We take our customer service very seriously here." He turns to me and says, "You know our motto?" I roll my eyes, harder than I knew they could roll. Store manager, "Give 'em the pickle. If you can't live by that standard, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. I think we need to discuss your plans for the future at this company." At this point, I'm actually flabbergasted. I can see residual recognition in store manager's eyes, but it's clear he doesn't know who I am or remember that I actually don't work for him. I start opening my mouth and closing it like a dying fish, and I say, "But I quit." Store manager, "Well, if that's how you feel." Karen is cackling. Me, "No, I quit." Stupidly unable to communicate past tense. Store manager, "Who's your supervisor? I'll radio them to come complete your exit." Me, "You know what? Screw this. I don't need pants that bad." And I promptly left. Out the wrong door. I had to walk all the way around the mall to get to my car without going back to the store, but I wasn't going in there ever again. So later, I call up my friend who still works there. This is where I eventually get the handy uniform change info. I relay the whole stupid story, ready for a laugh, and she responds, "Oh my god, that was you? He spent hours trying to figure out who walked off." Thank you so much for watching this video. I really enjoyed making it. Don't forget to tell me what you think about these stories and submit your own story in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video.